Today's stream hopefully not being about raging around and being unhappy and being mad and sad and whatnot, but this time rather being about something more useful, more productive, more enjoyable to watch quite in the end. Stressful days are gonna come. I'm seeing them, I am noticing them, and it's been insane actually. I've never had so stressful days as I've had them in the very recent past. But what's going on there on my foot? Ah, yeah, okay. I don't know, but stress is not good. It's definitely something to avoid. It is definitely something to work around. And well, I definitely can feel and see it mentally and physically. That is not doing me any good. That it is not great. And that I should be rather, what's going on there? Rather careful to make sure that this is not necessarily happening again, and or just preventing things from happening again, these things from happening again, and I'm just thinking about something else that really is bothering me to some degree, that I tend to forget very often, which is actually a good thing, because then it doesn't bother me anymore. But obviously, just because you forget about things doesn't mean that they are gone, they're still there. So let's actually see, let's actually do this really quickly. There's still actually a lot of things to do for me, a lot of things that are on my list. And on one hand, it is like, yeah, there are better things, I'd say. On the other hand, it is definitely also like, okay, every single day I feel like being productive, and I feel really good by being productive, and I feel really good by just knowing that I'm doing things that are sensible, things that are good, and things that I just need to be doing, period. Like every single day I'm just filling it quite with things I need to do, not want to do and have to do. Of course, now recording this and now just using my time also to upload a post and yada yada yada, so on and so forth. It's something I want to do, something I have made myself doing. But well, in the end, there's also a greater purpose behind it, isn't it? It's just also some sort of balance. It's also some sort of joy that I'm having here, talking to you guys, trying to get out some words and trying to just kind of actually figuring things out for myself as well, which is actually something that happens really often when I'm recording, that I come to certain conclusions and I come to certain things that wow, this is what's going on, this is what's been bothering me for such a long time, this is what is happening, this is whatever. So this in and of itself is actually one, I should actually do this. This in and of itself is one reason why I could also suggest it quite. It's actually also not that great. Let's do it like this, I guess. And like that. So that I'm also somehow in the middle, Yeah. It's great. Anyway, so it really does make sense to have certain have I done something yesterday? Designtalk 8 would have been the case. Well, it's actually, or did I do anything yesterday? I think I did. I did something. One of the best days of my life. Oh yeah, of course, I didn't call it. Didn't call it accurately enough, which is a tiny bit of a pity. But anyway, I'm actually quite fortunate that I'm having enough content that I'm not running out of things, but still, something of importance. Something of importance. Seeing the good in bad, trying to see good in bad, even of course, as so many things talking about it, being theoretical about it, it is very easy. It really is easy, hands down. But actually doing it, actually participating in whatever you're talking about, or whatever one is talking about, whatever one is, trying to get out essentially as well, it is very difficult. Very, very tremendously difficult. But often we kind of fail or win because of things that we do. Well, makes sense, doesn't it? But in terms of stress, it probably is because of you. It's my own fault that I'm stressed out. It is sometimes a decision and sometimes a sequence of decisions that lead to that, and it is my fault. It really is full-blown my fault. And there's still many things that I need to be doing, some things that I should. So I just think about the fact, should I actually, let's just do it differently. I'm not gonna edit this. I'm not gonna edit this video even, but I'm calling it angry stress, or angry stressor. Designtalk 9 or something, I don't know. Just because I think it makes sense to start making good decisions, and I guess this is a good decision, of course I really actually focus on the fact that I want to create better stuff, and I want to also create stuff that I know is going to be useful. But on the other hand, there are just some things I have to do, they are obligatory for me because of university, because of whatever and stuff like that. And this is just something that I'm doing on the side. So energy management, really important to have good energy management, to figure out how much you can put into something to get the certain result that you want to have. Period. Of course, there is a sense of quality, there is a sense of things that I want to have. Certain things I just, want to do, want to focus on, what I want to have in my life, want to deal with and whatnot. Very important, That's just a set amount of things that I find important in my life, and I'm gonna do that. Working out, for example, is one of those things. Is just important for me. Also, actually recording and having some sort of social media presence, and I would actually argue that everyone is having something like that, and I think it is good. We all need balance, and but the thing is, you need to start this balance at some point, and a good point is actually in the very beginning. Most often though, we are not doing that. We start in the middle, which is going to lead to even more stress for a set amount of time, or you're just dealing with a lot of more stress for a set amount of time to make sure that you can then enable things to run rather smoothly in the future. So what should I which means, I just need to do a lot of stuff this week, but I think one should also be keeping in mind that there is some time left, there is possibilities, and it's probably going to be fine in the end, which is basically me talking to myself. It is probably going to be fine in the end. It's probably not going to be a real issue in the real end of all of it. But of course now it is stressful because I really do not like knowing that I have certain things to do and I'm not doing them and stuff. And something that I tend to avoid, by just, trying to work really hard at first, getting everything done, making sure that I get everything done, and then do whatever. Sometimes though, it kind of leads to a lot of stress, a lot of unnecessary stress, and a lot of I think unnecessary stress really does mean it quite well. Because I think, okay, I need to do this and that and these and those, and then I come to the conclusion like, okay, I've been way too fast, and then in the end I've just had a lot of stress unnecessarily, which is energy that I could have used differently, that I also could have used to actually also rest from time to time. It's important to rest. It is important to have energy management, and with energy management there's also periods of low stress, periods of calmness, periods of you doing not that much, period. And so I would suggest everyone to basically figure out a way in which you can be quite happy, quite healthy, but also get those things done that you just need to get done. Some things that are obligatory, some things that are just important for you, your work, and then whatnot. But also sometimes breaking the rules, I would suggest. And suggesting is always like such a big word, but I would argue that sometimes it is just going to be good or sensible for you and your life. But when it comes to rules that are not about laws, do not break laws. It's not sensible. It's just not going to be benefiting you in any way. It is always a long-term game. And so when it comes to, you should not, you should not attend class. Well, by using this time that is unnecessarily spent, or you can spend it in a better way, why not do so? Which is a really bad example, but you really know what I mean. Thinking really hard about trying to maximize your efficiency by every minute it takes, because this in the end is going to lead you to living a lifestyle that you really then can also enjoy. Am I enjoying my lifestyle at this point in time? Well, at this point of time, I really am consumed by a lot of angst. Maybe it is just, it is indeed stress, as we have been talking about yesterday. Stress can lead to anxiety, can lead to, I think also misjudgments. I guess this is actually a really good explanation for what stress can do to one, because this is essentially also what I see really often, me just incredibly misjudging things unnecessarily. But does this make sense? Well, yes, it does, to some degree. But yeah, I think that I'm gonna end the stream there. I guess some things happened said that were good, and so I'm gonna see you the next time.